Tony's here with our college football pick show here for week 3's action. Of course, part 3, we got the first 18 done already. So in part 3, we got 8 for you. So we'll have a total of 27 of the 50 FBS versus FBS games when we conclude this video. Before we get started, just a couple things. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Free college football picks are updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports. Hey, we also have NFL. We have MLB, as you know. We have college football, European football, CFL. We also have a couple of live shows on our channel with the morning steam at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure you tune into that and a lot more. So it is a good time to subscribe. And also, if you would, support our channel and like the video. Thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. Then visit TonySpicks.com, our multi-capper site showcasing our top cappers in our industry. Click the link to the hot cappers. The capper's hot here like Ben. He's #1 in NFL this season. Mindy's coming off and Tiffany come off some hot days. Hollywood Sam has been on an absolute fire. Paul is the top unit producer here for us in 2022. I'm the #1 unit producer in MLB. Ramon's been hot. Click the link and get signed up. And of course, you can find our best bets here at the center of the page. Right here under premium picks, you'll find the best bet tab. Cappers can designate a best bet per sport per day. $15 premium pick. That's our promotional pick. Each capper can designate one pick as a $15 pick to showcase their services. As you can see, some cappers even make it their best bet on the site. Also, I want to make note of our promo code. You can save 20% off all premium pick packages when you use the promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access our page by clicking the link in the description, the All Cappers tab, and getting signed up. Also, love to hear from you guys, so post your picks in the comments below. We are looking for cappers to apply. Go to TonySpicks.com footer section to submit your form. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get this one started. Colorado versus Minnesota college football pick Saturday. Well, Colorado fell to 0-2 with a 41-10 road defeat at Air Force. Another poor offensive showing for the Falcons in defeat. For the Buffaloes in defeat, put up only 170 yards. Tennessee transfer J.T. Shrout 5 of 21 for 51 yards and an interception. On the season, Shrout is completing only 41% of his throws, 4.7 yards per pass attempt. Defensively, the Buffaloes surrendered 487 yards, 479 of them on the ground on 65 carries. Buffs averaged nearly 4 yards a carry on the ground. Minnesota 2-0 after their 62-10 home win to FCS Western Illinois behind 679 yards. In their opener, the Golden Gophers shut out New Mexico State 38-0. Minnesota behind quality in the backfield, a good run team averaging 5.5 yards per rush. Buffs are getting crushed defensively, giving up nearly 8 yards a carry on the ground this season. Their 2 losses. Fourth-year starting quarterback Tanner Morgan for Minnesota completing 73% of his passes for 12.5 yards per pass attempt. You know, with the run game going, Morgan is capable of making plays downfield. Quarterback play has just been too poor for Buffaloes. For the Buffaloes here, the play here will be Minnesota minus 27.5. BYU Oregon college football pick. This one goes off on Saturday. BYU 2-0 after their 26-20 home overtime win to Baylor. Their run game sputtered, but the Cougars' defense held the Bears to only 3 yards a carry on 50 attempts. BYU defended the pass well, holding Baylor 137 passes. Cougars quarterback Jaron Hall, 23 of 39, 261 yards and a touchdown. On the season, Hall completed nearly 68% of his passes for 7.5 yards per pass attempt. He was accurate in their road win at USF, completing 25 of 32. Now on defense, the Cougars holding teams at 3.6 yards a carry on the ground, 5.3 per pass attempt. Now Oregon, they're 1-1. They beat Eastern Washington at home, an FCS school, 70-14. Remember, they were embarrassed in their opener, losing 49-3 to Georgia. Now, Bo Nix, a strong game against his FCS opponent, but against Georgia, 21-37, only averaging 4.7 yards per pass attempt and 2 interceptions. Really impressed with the BYU defense this season and not confident here with Nix facing a quality defensive team. Hall, experienced quarterback for the Cougars. They handle this atmosphere. The play here, BYU +4. New Mexico State and Wisconsin college football pick Saturday. New Mexico State 0-3 after their offense generated only 313 yards in the recent loss. They averaged just 4 yards to carry on the ground, with the passing game struggling with only 111 yards. That loss in their recent loss here. It was first-year quarterback Diego Pavia, 7 of 20 for 100 yards, 5 yards per pass attempt in that UTEP defeat. Pavia produced poor performances against both Nevada and Minnesota. Aggies were blown out. Minnesota 38-0 behind 91 yards. They were held only 12 points at home to a rebuilding Nevada team. Now, Wisconsin, they fought a 1-1, a 17-14 home defeat to Washington State. Badgers couldn't score in the second half. Wisconsin, 401 yards of offense in defeat. The defense limited the Cougars to 53 yards on 22 carries. Graham Mertz, 18-31 for 227 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Now, he did average nearly 14 yards per pass attempt in the win against their FC opponent. The Badgers should be able to steamroll through this Aggies team. New Mexico State play at quarterback has just been very poor. The play here will be on Wisconsin minus 37.5. Troy versus Appalachian State college football pick. This one is on Saturday. Troy improves to 1-1, a 38-17 home win to FCS Alabama A&M. After a 7-3 lead at the half, the Trojans outscored the Bulldogs 31-14 in the second. They did open the season at Ole Miss. They covered in a loss, 28-10, holding the Rebels to 7 points in the second half and by containing their passing game, but they did allow over 6 yards to carry on the ground. There is experience at quarterback for the Trojans here in Gunnar Watson, who went 34 of 47 for 275 yards with a touchdown and a pick against the Ole Miss. Now, App State comes off a 17-14 road win at Texas A&M after giving up 63 points and 567 yards to the Tar Heels the week prior. In the Mountaineers here in their win held the Aggies to only 187 yards. Now, App State ran for under 4 yards a carry on Texas A&M, and quarterback Chase Bryce 15-34, 134 yards and a touchdown. Bryce did throw for 361 yards and 6 touchdowns and 1 pick against a bad defensive team in North Carolina. But been impressed with the Trojans' defensive performance at Ole Miss, and Gunnar Watson is a quality quarterback to play here. Troy plus the 12.5. Georgia Southern and UAB college football pick. This one goes off on Saturday. Georgia Southern moves to 2-0 with a 45-42 road win at Nebraska. They opened with a 59-7 home win at FCS Morgan State. The Eagles piled up 642 yards on the Cornhuskers offense. Buffalo transfer Kyle Van Treese, 37 of 56 passing for 409 yards, a touchdown and 2 picks. They crushed the Cornhuskers on the ground, 233 yards on 30 carries. Defensively, Georgia Southern did give up 575 yards to Nebraska with 257 rushing and 318 through the air. Now, UAB, they're 1-1, a 21-14 road defeat at Liberty. They open with a 59 home win to FCS Alabama State. Now, in the loss, Liberty to Liberty, UAB ran for 241 yards on 43 carries, but in the passing game, Dylan Hopkins just 10 of 15 for 114 yards. Defensively, the Blazers limited Liberty to 390 yards, but 188 rushing on 40 carries. Now, Georgia Southern has quality at the quarterback position and willing to back them here based on their offensive showing, and UAB showing very little from the passing game. The play here, Georgia Southern plus 12. Monroe and Alabama college football pick for Saturday. Monroe 1-1 with their 35-7 home win to FCS Nichols State. They opened at Texas and were blown out 52-10 behind only 259 yards. Really sputtering on the ground. Warhawks quarterback Chandler Rogers, 14 of 19 on Texas with interception and only 5.7 yards per pass attempt. Had a really good showing against their FCS opponent, though. Now, Alabama 2-0 after their 2019 road win in Texas. They crushed Utah State at home 55-0 in their opener behind 559 yards. Now, the Crimson tied 374 yards in that win, running for 161 on 24 carries. Bryce Young, 27-39 for 213 yards and a touchdown against the Longhorns. Now, he had 5 touchdown passes on Utah State. You know, Warhawks are going to struggle here to get points on the board here. Expect the Crimson Tide to really get a big lead and bleed clock in the second half and run the clock. The play here, Monroe and Alabama under 60.5. Kansas and Houston college football pick Saturday. Kansas improves to 2-0 with a 55-42 road overtime win at West Virginia. Now, the Jayhawks, they moved the football for 420 yards in the win. Quarterback Jalen Daniels, 18 of 29, 219 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was accurate in their win against FCS Tennessee Tech. The run game generated 201 yards on 35 carries. Now, Kansas defense did surrender 501 yards with 355 passing on 40 attempts. Houston fell to 1-1, another overtime game, but they lose this one 37-35 at Texas Tech. Now, 2 straight overtimes for the Cougars. Remember, they got past UTSA by 2 in the opener. Their offense posted 365 yards in the defeat. Clayton Attune was not accurate in that Texas Tech loss. going 20 of 39 for 266 yards with a touchdown and a pick. They are averaging only 6.6 yards per pass attempt and 3.2 yards to carry on the ground. But Houston's at home for the first time this season. They face a soft defense here in this spot. Back-to-back road games for Kansas. The play here will be Houston -10. Colorado State and Washington State college football pick for Saturday. Colorado State falls to 0-2 after the 34-19 home defeat to Middle Tennessee State. Rams offense struggled again, just with 366 yards with 10 yards rushing on 34 carries. 4 turnovers in defeat. Nevada transfer Clay Millen, 20 of 30 passing for 256 yards with 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. Now, Colorado State's defense surrendered 266 yards passing to the Blue Raiders. Dating back to last season, 8 straight losses for the Rams. Now, Washington State 2-0 with their 17-14 home win at Wisconsin. Cougars win despite only 253 yards gained in the game, 53 on the ground on 22 carries. Incarnate Word transfer Kyman Ward, 17 of 28 passing for 200 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. Washington State's defense allowed 401 yards to the Badgers, forcing 3 turnovers. They only got past FCS Idaho 24-17 in their opener. Rams converting only 20% on third down, averaging 3 turnovers a game. Washington State, driven by its defense, and they're 2 are averaging 3 turnovers a game as well. The play here, Colorado State and Colorado State and Washington State to go under total of 52.5. That was our college football show, pick part number 3. So we got 18 plus 8 in. So we got 26 games in, half the card. So make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications. There'll be more coming. Tony T, talk to you guys later.